Hello, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm LaKendra Tooks, and it's time for Tooks Takes. Ken's Day crew, rise up. Let me tell you something, Ken's Day crew. First of all, I owe y'all an apology because I know that you guys come here for your Bravo fix, for your Housewives fix. But I gotta tell you something. The Landfill channel, TLC. I'm in the landfill right now, y'all. I am at the bottom of a pile of garbage, and I can't get out. I'm stuck between 90 Day Fiancé and My Strange Addiction. I may have a strange addiction to My Strange Addiction and 90 Day Fiancé right now, but listen, we're gonna get there. We'll get back on Housewives next week or something. I don't know. One of these days, we'll turn the channel back to Bravo. But right now, we are on TLC. But let me do a little Kendra catch up. Let me give y'all a little, let me tell y'all a little thing or two about what's going on in my world. Now, as I'm sure you all have heard, Jeff Lewis of Jeff Lewis Live, of Flipping Out, you know that Flipping Out has gotten a reboot. They've got a reboot order at Bravo. The reboot is Still Flipping Out, aptly titled. And so they're filming for the show, which means sometimes at some of our little outings and events, they will be filming for the show. So the other day, we had a chump mixer that was filmed for the show. Now, let me tell y'all, I'm used to being on this side of the reality camera. I'm used to being on the side of the reality camera where I'm on my couch and I'm watching and I'm talking smack, and then I come here and I talk some more smack. Now, it's like, am I the smack? Am I becoming smack? Because I knew that this was going to be filmed for the show. What I did not know was that I was going to be mic'd. Yo, I'm mic'd up. Now, y'all know I am doing my Loop Dry January. But I had already made plans that the night of the chump mixer, I was going to be allowed to have a little piece of a cocktail or two. So I'm like, okay, we're getting filmed. There's cameras, big old giant cameras. There's microphones. People are mic'd. And even if you're not mic'd, there's a boom guy walking around. A boom. Y'all know about the boom mic. If for those of you who are not in the entertainment industry, if you don't know about the boom mic, that's that big old microphone that's like up above. So there, no matter what, whether you're mic'd or not, whatever you're saying is being captured. And y'all know me. Y'all know I'm real slick. I got a slick mouth. This slick mouth used to get my name on the board a lot when I was a kid. This slick mouth used to get me bopped upside the head by my mama a lot when I was a kid. And I know sometimes I get bopped upside my head as an adult over this slick mouth. So I'm nervous. First of all, I'm Luke Dry. So I haven't been drinking much. So my little system, y'all know how it is. When you're not drinking much, the first time you have a drink again, I mean, it hits you like bang. That first drop of the devil's juice, it hits your veins. And before you know it, you're like, hey, y'all, what's up? So I had to really be careful. I had to make sure I keep my wits about me. I had to make sure I don't say anything bad. Because, listen, I watch a lot of reality TV. I know how this works. I don't want anybody sitting in their interview being like, well, Kendra, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, dang, I got to be careful. I got to keep, shh. I can't be too slick. But I think I did a good job. But you know what? But it's like at the same time, you can't be too slick, but also you don't want to be like a church mouse. You don't want to be like afraid to say anything, because then it's like, we got to the show must go on. Slick mouth or not, the show must go on. Also, I was so worried, y'all. I also did Cooking Kibitz last week with Doug Buden. Hey, Dougie. And so when I got to Cooking Kibitz, I went to Doug and Alyssa Donovan. Hey, Alyssa Donovan. I said, y'all, can I be honest with y'all for a second? I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous about tonight and about the cameras and about the boom mics and all this stuff. And Doug was like, look, Kendra, don't you worry about it. They're not going to be thinking about us. They are going to be focused on the famous people, of which we are not. And I was like, you're right, Dougie. I don't need to be worried about anything. And I really wasn't. Like, everything was cool. I got mic'd. We will see how it goes, y'all. We're gonna have to see. And it's like, you never know. So much stuff. They film so much ends up on the cutting room floor. So I mean, I'm probably gonna end up on the cutting room floor. But if they did, you know how in reality shows they put together those little montages of you saying the same thing over and over again? It's probably gonna be a montage of me saying, I don't care about dating anymore. I don't care about the apps. I just want to be set up with somebody. I'd like to be set up with somebody. Can somebody set me up with somebody? It's probably gonna be that for me, because that's what's going on in my world. Because let me tell y'all this. I know it's the beginning of the year, and a lot of us at the beginning of the year, we set our New Year's resolutions. Here at Tooks Takes, we didn't make New Year's resolutions. We made New Year's revolutions, okay? So I made some revolutionary revolutions, and I gotta tell y'all, I am doing good. I know we're only a couple of weeks in, but I'm doing so good on my New Year's revolutions, okay? Y'all would be so proud of me with the dating stuff. I'm staying Luke dry. Can we talk about being Luke dry? You guys, I think I'm going to be Luke dry for life. I'm Luke dry. Doesn't he sound like a country singer? Went down to the river and the river wasn't there. Luke dry. I'm going to adopt the Luke dry lifestyle from now on out, because let me tell you something. First of all, like, I like not being drunk, because when I get a little bit drunk, because y'all know I hit my vape too. So sometimes my memory is just gone, and I get so upset when I know that a good time was had and I don't remember it. I like to remember my good times. Good times, anytime you need a payment. I like to remember my good times, okay? So I'm enjoying being Luke dry. And let me tell you something. So when you're Luke dry, and you're trying to like relax, you're trying to, I'm trying not to be, I always, I get FOMO. I like to be out in the streets, but I'm also now, one of my revelations is to just be more content with like chilling at the house. And so let me tell y'all, when I've been chilling at the house, I don't know what's going on with me this last like week or so. I have been on this like classic TV reruns fix. Seriously, this is why I haven't even really been caring about the Housewives right now. I've been watching literally like old episodes of Three's Company, Mama's Family. Do you guys remember Mama's Family? I'm telling y'all, on Saturday, I am not ashamed to admit that on Saturday, I definitely sat down and watched like 5 episodes of Mama's Family. Remember Mama's Family with Vicki Lawrence and them? It all came from the Carol Burnett show. Those classic TV shows were good. I watched that. I watched Good Times. I was just having a good time watching classic TV. I feel like people that are kind of in my age group, and if you're kind of in my age group, my particular age group, you get it. I feel like when we were kids back in like the 80s and 90s, reruns were a big thing. We were watching, I know every day I would come home from school, I was watching Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days. Like, that's what I was watching as a little kid. Like, yeah, I was watching Saved by the Bell and I was watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but I also was like, I really want to watch Gilligan's Island. I really want to watch, what was the one with the Donna Reed show. I'm like, what was the one with Donna Reed? The Donna Reed show, My Three Sons. We grew up with those shows because we were watching Nick at Night and TV Land. But nowadays, today, if you turn on Nick at Night, you're going to be watching an old episode of Friends, which I love Friends. But I'm like, Nick at Night and TV Land was supposed to be our classic TV. Like, I love Friends. Don't get me wrong. Friends is one of my favorite shows. But I just don't think that Friends is classic TV. Also, like, Everybody Loves Raymond. Like, I just don't think that's classic TV. However, I wonder, like, those of you that are in my age group that already have kids, do your kids like Friends? Because I know for me, when I date a young guy and I tell him I like to watch Friends, he's always like, oh, I hate Friends. And my brother's a little bit younger than me. He hates Friends. He's like, I bet you watch Frasier too. Yeah, I love Friends. I love Frasier. But to me, I don't consider that classic. I don't consider like a 1993 Toyota Corolla a classic car. When I'm thinking about classic cars, I'm thinking about a 67 Mustang or something like that. So when I'm thinking about classic shows, I'm thinking about stuff from like, the 60s and 70s, maybe early 80s, maybe like an old episode of like Gimme a Break or something like that. So I say all that to say I've been watching a lot of classic TV, and I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying not drinking. Let me tell you the other thing they don't tell you about drinking. Drinking makes you fat. For real. If you're listening right now and you're like, "Man, I really want to lose some weight." I'm telling you, quit drinking if you can, but if you don't want to commit to like full sobriety, join me on the Luke Dry journey, because being Luke Dry, my stomach is flat. And when I tell y'all, I have been eating some sweets, but my stomach has remained pretty flat because I'm Luke Dry. I'm not really drinking that much. So I think, honestly, y'all, join me. Won't you join me on the Luke Dry journey? Won't you also join me on the My Strange Addiction journey? Now, let me tell you something. If you have a weak stomach, you can't watch this show because it's gross. We already had to watch the lady eating raw meat at the nail salon last week. This week, what we got a gentleman who likes to eat bugs. And I mean, I know in some cultures they eat bugs. Listen, I always thought bug eating was more of an animal thing, because, like, remember in the Jungle Book when Baloo the bear, he picks it up, he's like, "Now when you get a pawpaw or a prickly pear," he's like eating all the bugs off the tree and stuff like that, because Baloo the bear is a bear. But, like, if you're a grown up, it's just like I said with the raw meat. If you want to eat the raw meat, eat the raw meat at your house. If you want to eat bugs at your house. If you're a bug eater, though, please don't, like, bring the bugs to work and put your little cage in the work fridge and be like, "Whose cage? Whose cage is in the work fridge? Who's got a cage of crickets in the work fridge?" Like, if you want to eat bugs, eat bugs. I don't care. What annoys me about the guy that's eating bugs is that he's married and has a baby. And I'm like, how the hell is this bug eating bozo married with a baby before me? What's up with that? Now, somebody else who got married before me, this other young lady. Now, let me tell you about this girl. Let me start. Let me rewind, okay? Because I love skincare. I love skincare. I'm all about. I am a skincare junkie. I have every product. I have every device. I have red light therapy. I have a Medicube. I microneedle. I do it all. One of these days we will sit down and I need to start sharing some of my skincare secrets with you guys. But this girl on My Strange Addiction, she thinks she got the perfect skincare secret. Her husband's ejaculate. She says she calls her husband's ejaculate the product. She's like, "I like to put it on my face. I like the way it feels. It's sticky." And she's like, "Usually every morning, I like for my husband to make me a fresh batch of product." So they show the husband like going in the bathroom. 10 minutes later, "Here you go, baby. Here's your product." And first of all, I'm looking at her and I'm like, "Girl, I'm sorry, but your skin doesn't look good." "I'm sorry. That's not nice to say, but it's the truth. The truth is, honey, the product ain't working. You need to go get some real products. You need to go to a dermatologist." Because now let me tell you something. I love a procedure. I love a skincare technique. I got my vampire facial. And with the vampire facial, they extract your blood, they centrifuge it, and then they take your plasma and then they put your plasma back in your face, which is also kind of crazy. But I did that. Now, if there really was some type of like healing properties within a man's ejaculate, baby, I'd be at the sperm bank like, let me get my batch. Let me get, no, I'm not having a baby. What I am having is beautiful skin. If the ejaculate actually did give you beautiful skin. But if this girl is the poster child for ejaculate on the skin, I hate to break it to her, but it's not working. I'm like, "Girl, it's not working. You need to get some salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide," because she's like, "Oh, my skin is glowing." And I'm like, "Honey, that's not glow. That's like cystic acne. Those are boils. That's not a glow. That's a boil. Go get that looked at, because I don't think your husband's semen, ejaculate." I'm sorry. I'm trying to be really I'm trying because I know we got some kids in the Kens Day crew, the Kens Day kids. Hey kids, I don't want to be. I try to keep things PG-13 around here, so I don't want to be disgusting. But I guess semen it's a scientific, technical, biological term. So yeah, she thinks her husband's semen is helping her skin, but it's not. Girl, it's not. Tell your husband to keep his product in his pants because it's not helping you. And then there's another young gentleman. He doesn't like to eat bugs, but he does like to eat makeup. Now, I know. I get it. We love to be beautiful. And beauty begins on the inside. You want to have that inner beauty. But eating the makeup is not the way to get it. We put our lipstick on. If you put your lipstick on and you take a bite out of it, that's not. I want you to go see someone about that. Listen, y'all, because listen, in the Kens Day crew, yeah, we a little cuckoo, and we love that, but we don't want to go too far. I don't want to see anybody in the Kens Day crew on My Strange Addiction, guys. I don't want that for us, okay? But yeah, this guy, he's a makeup artist. What better job if you like to eat makeup? He's a makeup artist. Like if you like to eat food, you become a chef. He likes to eat makeup. He's a makeup artist. So can you just imagine? I mean, I'm just picturing myself on set and he's doing my makeup and I catch him in the corner with a mascara, just sucking on the mascara wand. And I'm just like, dude, what's going on? What are you doing? But God bless these people on My Strange Addiction. God bless these strange people with strange addictions because it's entertaining and it's weird, and most importantly, it's not us. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. We got just the right amount of cuckoo. We haven't gone full cuckoo crazy like the people on 90 Day Fiancé. Where do they find these people? I love it. I love it. Right now on 90 Day Fiancé, once again, I like all the girls. The guys all suck. Except for Daniel. Okay, let's talk about Daniel. Okay, y'all know I have a little crush on Daniel. Now, y'all know I'm not dating right now. So it's always bad when I start getting a crush on the people on the Landfill channel. That's when it's like, what's really going on, Tooks? But anyway, I do have a crush on Daniel. Daniel is very handsome. He is handsome. He is strong. He's got an amazing torso. But he's engaged to lesbian with a wig on. But last week she was lying lesbian with a wig on. She still is lying lesbian with a wig on because I don't even know if he knows the wig is a wig still. And I don't think he knows that the lesbian is a lesbian. But the lesbian was able to, she put that wig, ladies, sometimes you got to tie that wig back because it's time to do some adult things. And so now let me tell you this. I feel like this season of 90 Day Fiancé must be sponsored by Walmart. Because y'all know how Walmart has that little clothing line called No Boundaries? This season has no boundaries. I mean, lesbian with a wig on is just so graphic. She is talking about her sexual bodily functions. I'm like, girl, ew. She was saying, okay, let me see. Okay, y'all know. Let me see if I can figure out a creative way to say something gross. Let me see if I can figure out a creative way to say something gross. Okay. She said that she was, I don't think there's any other way to say that. The opposite of dry. We'll just say that. She was the opposite of dry. He was the opposite of erect. Y'all, come on, man. Now, see, why do I put myself through this? Now I'm putting y'all through it. I'm putting myself through it. Watching it, talking about it, But anyway, she was the opposite of dry. He was the opposite of erect, and they were trying to do stuff, and it didn't really work. But then they tried it again, and it worked. But pause. It hurt. She said it was painful. I said, girl, you haven't been with a man in 21 years, Because, I mean, I don't exactly know how. I'm sure we have quite a few lesbians in the Kansas Day crew. Hey, lesbians! But I don't really know how all the workings work in a lesbian relationship. Now, I do know the body parts that women and men tend to have, and so when you got two lesbians, they may not have certain body parts biologically, but they can obtain a certain body part biologically, as in they go buy it. So some things are biological and some things are biological because you have to go buy it. So I don't know, and honestly, I don't want to know because, God bless this woman, but, um, God bless the lesbian with a wig on. But let me tell y'all something. She's a liberated lesbian with a wig on because Daniel was getting a little bit controlling with her. And she's like, you're not going to control me because if you keep treating me like this and stressing me out and telling me that I have to learn how to speak Igbo, that's his native tongue. And it's like, look, girl, lesbian with a wig, if you want to get his native tongue, you got to learn how to speak his native tongue. You know what I'm saying? You got to speak that native tongue. You got to impress the uncle. You got to learn how to tie the headdress around your head. But let me tell you something. In other countries, they're not as PC as we are here in America. Here in America, we may say, oh, you're too curvaceous. But in Africa, they say you're too fat. No, you cannot wear this. You are too fat. And then she got her feelings hurt. She's like, they called me fat. In my mind, I'm thinking, no, you are fat. She's fat. But there's nothing wrong with being fat. Be fat. I used to be fat. I was fat. And listen, in that part of the world where maybe there aren't as many fat people, here in America, we got a lot of fat people. In America, we got fat people all over the place. So it's not as big a deal. But I know probably in Nigeria, they don't have as many fat people. So when they see a fat person, they're like, oh, hello, you must not be from around here because you are fat. So the lady called her fat. It hurt her feelings. No woman wants to get called fat. Daniel's like, I'm sorry that hurt your feelings. She called you fat. But I know in his head he was thinking, but you are fat, which is fine. But then he got even more controlling with her because he was trying to tell her, you got to eat this soup with your hands and your fingers. Now, listen, I got, my hands are kind of small. I eat my soup with a spoon. Here in America, that's how we do it. But let me tell you something, Daniel. Hey, Daniel, if you do bring me to Nigeria, baby, I'm going to do it the Nigerian way. I'm going to scoop it up. That was that I don't even know if that came through, me slurping my fake Nigerian soup in my hand, but I probably now see, this is why we watch this show. See, it goes from landfill to learning so fast. Now we know when we go to Nigeria, bring your own little latex glove because you are going to be expected to eat that soup with your hand. And if you don't eat that soup with your hand, guess what? Daniel's going to get mad at you. He was mad at lesbian with a wig. But lesbian with a wig said, look, I have given up a lot for you. I'm all the way over here. I know you don't want me to vape, but I've got to go vape because you've stressed me out. And that lady called me fat. And you got me over here eating soup with my hands. I'm a nurse. I know that there's all kinds of germs underneath the fingernails. Girl, there's all kinds of germs in the airport bathroom, but you weren't thinking about that when you were doing your hoe bath in the airport bathroom. Now you're worried about germs. You weren't worried about germs when Daniel was eating your face in the back of an Uber, but now you're worried about germs. But she got so stressed out, she had to go hit that vape. And Daniel, baby, that is the one area where you are going to have to give me a little bit of wiggle room because I do like to hit my vape. So Daniel, you and your beautiful flying torso. I'd give up the vape for that torso, though. Lord, if you bless me with a man with a torso like that, I'll give up the vape. Period. Buy vape. Because Daniel's fine. So listen here, lesbian with a wig on. I know you want to be liberated lesbian with a wig on, but you're going to be alone lesbian with a wig on. Just do what Daniel says, okay? She also mentioned, because, she hasn't been with a man in a while, but she said, you know what? I was able to stretch for you to fit me perfectly. Lord Jesus, y'all. Hey, listen, if I had to, y'all know what I say. It's okay if you didn't watch it because I'm going to make you feel like you were there. If I had to be there, I'm about to make you feel like you were there too, okay? If I had to be grossed out, you're getting grossed out too. We're in this together, okay? If I gotta be grossed out, y'all gotta be grossed out with me. Now, moving on to Madagascar. Now, y'all know in Madagascar, we got Trish and Rick. Now, we already know Rick is withholding some truths from Trish because he has not yet told Trish about how he went to Colombia and spent 5 days having sex with his ex. So Trish doesn't know that yet. But then, okay, now let me talk about this because y'all already know. This year, we're not accepting any broke guys. We're not accepting any financial hardship guys, girls and gays. Y'all know what I'm talking. Girls, gays, and theys. Girls, gays, theys. We're not putting up with any broke dudes, okay? So if Trish tells Rick, hey, let's go to the mall so you can buy me some stuff. And then Rick's like, is that all you want me for? To buy you stuff? And I'm like, Rick, you're 52. This beautiful young girl, yes, she wants you to buy her stuff. That's not the only reason she's with you. She's with you because she loves you and she doesn't know the truth about your little Colombian escapades yet. After that, it's like, dude, buy her stuff. What kind of man doesn't want to buy stuff for the girl? Like, buy her stuff. What is wrong with you? You're 52. And he's like, I don't have a lot of money. I'm like, you're 52. Where's your money? Why don't you have any money? What are you doing in Madagascar without and saying you don't have enough money? I have money for what you need, but I have money for what you want. She deserves what she wants. She's young. She's beautiful. Has an amazing body. Beautiful hair, beautiful face. That girl deserves what she wants, Rick. Take her to the mall. Take her shopping. And then you know what? Tell her the truth. Tell her the truth. You know who else needs to tell the truth? Stig of Stig and Aviva in Belize. Now, as we know, Stig is a big time rapper in Belize. He's got a concert coming up. He wants Aviva to come to the concert. Now, Aviva's just a little bit worried. Now, for me, I know I can't date a rapper because I am very jealous. I'm very jealous. That's one of my New Year's revolutions I'm working on. But I am a very jealous person when it comes to my guy. So I know I don't want to date a rapper. I don't want to see him in the video with girls making it clap on the yacht. Like I'm like, no, baby. If I do end up with a rapper, I'm gonna be like, the only video hoe that's gonna be in your video is me. Period. Till death do us part, and death will do you part a lot faster if I catch you with some other hoes in the videos. So Aviva's a little bit nervous. She's like, am I going to be jealous? And then she goes to the concert. And of course she's jealous because he's there and he's doing his thing. And then she's on the phone. Now, y'all know I am a performer myself. Sometimes when you're on stage, you do see people on the phone and it's distracting. And so Stig, he gets all in his head. He forgets the lyrics to his raps. And Aviva, girl, yeah, he's a rapper. He's going to have girls out here. It is what it is. You're going to have to get over it, and you got to have to be a little less insecure, girl. He loves you. Not to mention, if you're so worried about not trusting him, you might want to quit having unprotected sex with him. But I'm telling y'all, I've seen the scuttlebutt online. I don't know if it's true. I've also seen her in her confessional looks where she is looking a little thickums. I don't know. Have they had a baby? Is she pregnant? I don't know. But girl, he's a rapper. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You know who else can't let go? Laura of Laura and Beer Can. Okay, y'all know Beer Can is the Turkish guy. He just told Laura last week that he's got $50,000 US dollars debt. Okay, and so then she's like, okay, now I can't help but wonder, are you just trying to get with me for my money? And then he uses that old Turkish charm to change the topic. And he just starts kissing her and, gives her a little Turkish delight. But it's like, girl, don't get BBD, blinded by the D. You got to keep your eyes on the prize here. Because this man just wants to come to America and take all your money. Don't forget that. Don't get blinded by the D and forget that. And so then he's trying to tell her, I want you to cut Michael out of your life. Y'all know her friend Michael, the one he's got the birth defect, but they get along so well. I think he's nervous. I really want Laura and Michael to get together. Because Laura, I know Beer Can, the Beer Can's got that Turkish delight. that I'm sure you love. But baby, that fades. The Turkish delight fades. You need something real, girl. And he is going to take all your money. Speaking of taking all your money, let's talk about Forrest and Sheena. Okay, so this week, finally, Forrest meets Sheena's family. And it's a long journey to get there. Lord, geez, that's what I love about being in America. I love that I could just get in my car and life is easy. Over in the Philippines, they had to take like a train, a bus, a rickshaw. I mean, it's a lot. And then they had to walk up a mountain to finally get to her parents' home. Her parents' home is beautiful. They run an Airbnb. No, not even an Airbnb. It's just a B&B. And it's beautiful. It is so nice. I'm like, dang, Sheena's parents. Okay, I've got 90 Day Fiancé playing in the background right now. Aviva is definitely pregnant. Because, yeah. I mean, if she's not pregnant and she just put on some weight, then I owe you an apology. But this child definitely looks pregnant because in the scenes, like at the concert, she's got this little top on. She has no boobs, like none. Okay. Then in her confessional, the boobies look like they're full of milk. So, girl, she's either pregnant or she gave birth. One of the two. Either way, I think she's going to end up being stuck with this guy for life. But I'm sorry. Got a little ADD there. Just like Forrest. Forrest not only has ADD, he's autistic, which I don't remember if he had originally told us that. I think it's pretty clear that he's autistic. And I'm not giving his mama, his mean, nasty mama, a pass, but I think that is probably why she's so overprotective with him. I know we have some parents of autistic children in the Ken's Day crew, and I'm sure you guys get that too. You definitely want your autistic child to grow up to be a functioning adult, but you are going to have you're going to have those concerns. That I get, but it doesn't give you the right to control every aspect of their life. And also it doesn't give you the right to be mean to others, especially when they're giving your unemployed son a chance. Now, of course, he needs to get Sheena's dad's blessing. So Sheena's sister said, remind me again, what do you do for a living? Sheena's sister already knew that this man didn't have a job. She just wanted to hear him say it. So he was like, nothing. I don't have a job. I live off my disability checks. And her dad's like, we want to make sure that you're going to be able to take care of our daughter. But then the dad still gives the blessing, which is really nice. That's really sweet. The dad still gave the blessing. Okay, so as we watch the preview for next week's 90 Day Fiancé, we see that Trish and Rick start having the conversation about kids. Now, this is what happens when you're in a, age gap relationship. Rick already has 5 kids. Trish is young. She wants to have kids. Oh, and then we're going to get more Anna Lynn and Jovan, which I'm excited to see more Anna Lynn and Jovan. Laura meets Beer Can's friends, and Beer Can's friends are like, there's something you don't know about Beer Can. So I cannot wait to find out what that something we don't know about Beer Can is. I'm ready. And then also, Forrest's mom is going to see Sheena's parents' beautiful home. And next week, when Forrest's mom, Molly, sees the beautiful home that Sheena's parents have, y'all know she's going to lose it. Because in her mind, she's like, she's living back here in a trailer park, and she's just mad. And then we're also going to see Lesbian with a Wig try to get the uncle's blessing. So next week is going to be really, really good. So we'll be watching and we'll be talking about it, of course. Maybe next week too. Maybe by next week, I'll decide that I want to start watching Housewives again. But right now I'm in the landfill, and I like the landfill. I'm enjoying the landfill. Now, our Tooks takeaway for the day. Really, it's piggybacking on what I was talking about earlier. My Tooks takeaway for the day is, I know for me, I have been wanting to change my relationship with alcohol a little bit, but I didn't want to be like full sober. So for anybody else who's thinking like, hey, I know for me too, like I'm getting older. And somebody said this one time when I was on Jeff Lewis. Somebody called in and said this and was like, Lakendra, I think that your body, your reaction to alcohol is changing. And I think that's important to realize that. because our bodies do change. So for anybody out there, if you feel like you want to change your relationship with alcohol and you're not ready to just like say, look, I'm sober forever, or you're not like, technically an alcoholic, don't be afraid to change that relationship with alcohol. Don't be afraid to say, you know what? I'm just going to not drink at home anymore, or I'm not going to drink alone anymore. I'm just going to truly be a social drinker. I think that is a great way to be Luke dry, And also, my other Tooks takeaway, go and sit on your couch and watch some classic TV. It warms my soul. It warms my heart. And these shows, they're still funny. They still hold up, 30, 40 years later. And it's fun. It takes you back to a simpler time, because let me tell you something. There is nothing simple about the times that we are in right now. So it is nice every now and then to just go back in time. I highly recommend it. Sometimes turn off the CNN, turn off the evening news, turn on an old episode of Three's Company, and just laugh at the hijinks and escape. Because life is hard and we need those escapes. I know I need my escapes. Now listen, y'all, thank you so much for all the love and support. Thank you all for following us on social media at LaKendra Tooks, at Tooks Takes. Thank you for leaving reviews, rating us 5 stars. We are on our way to becoming the #1 podcast on earth. And it's all because of you, Ken's Day crew. And as always, I hope and pray that my light helps you find your light and you shine so bright. And I will see y'all next time. Bye. Mwah.